Hello, Coach Hayes. How's minicamp been?
Well, we're just in phase one right now, but it's been great. It's good to get back on the field. It's good having the guys in the facility. It's good being back working.
Absolutely. I know a lot of those players have been chomping at the bit to get out there on the field, even for a mini camp, no contact or anything, but I'm sure there are a lot of smiles on the field as you guys got underway there in St. Louis.
Oh, without a doubt. And, since it's mostly walkthrough right now, we're still trying to slow them down, make them know that, hey, it's not full speed quite yet. We're just trying to get your assignments out and get you ready to play.
Exactly. Yeah. Just the team building portion has begun. Everybody's getting to know each other, and it's been an awesome week for that. Mini camps, not only that, but I mean the uniform reveal was really cool. How fun was that to have that as a team event where everybody was in the room seeing those jerseys for the first time?
It was great until the lights went off, and then the guys had a hard time seeing. Half the guys had a hard time seeing it, so we had to put them over in the other side of the room where the lights were on.
When they got revealed, they were some beauties. We're breaking down the jerseys all week long on the show, and I got to say that helmet you guys are going to be rocking, especially, is absolutely gorgeous. I'm a big fan.
Well, thanks. I am too. When they first announced the names, and then everything about the BattleHawks, and when as a pro player playing at Kansas City, my nickname became Hawkeye, and then they shortened it to Hawk, and then all of a sudden I became the head coach here in St. Louis, and we became the BattleHawks, so we felt like it was a really good omen.
Oh, absolutely. I like that. I did not know that, Coach. So it's fitting that you're the head man in charge there of the St. Louis BattleHawks, and you're putting it all together from scratch. How fun has that been, the process of drafting, scouting, hiring your staff? That's a lot, but you've got to be enjoying that.
It's been awesome. And I tell you what, having great people around you make this such a good great opportunity, and it just makes it so enjoyable to come to work every day and working with people that you really believe in and trust and want to continue to grow with. And a lot of the people here I have wonderful friendships with, and one of them, I've known since I was a baby because he's my older brother.
Yep, that was my next question. It's got to be pretty cool coaching with your brother, and a lot of your staff is very experienced with Tim Lewis on the staff, and you've got ex-players like Azahir Hakeem. I mean, you've got quite the team there helping you put this thing together, don't you?
Yeah, I got two guys that have been head coaches. Timmy was a head coach last year in the Alliance League, and Chuck Long, who's on my staff, was a head coach at San Diego State, and, hiring Matt and Race and Doug Meacham and my brother Jay. And, I mean, there's a lot of experience on this staff. And we got a good mix of young guys, too, with Chris Crocker and Ozzie King and Brian Braswell and Grant Williams. So it's a really good mixture of people. And, Timmy and Chuck and Jay, they all been guys I can lean on and ask for advice. And needless to say, I still call Coach Lewis Marvin Lewis just to bounce things off him too. So.
Yeah, I was actually you're taking all my questions in a row, Coach, because that was where I was going to go to next, because this is such a brand new endeavor for you, but you were a part of a very consistent football program with Marvin Lewis, and I was wondering how much that program in Cincinnati has influenced your approach towards balancing your roles as head coach and general manager.
The one thing I learned from Coach Lewis was to make sure everyone understood that we were all in lockstep. And, Marvin every morning would go upstairs and sit down with the owner and tell him our plan, what we were trying to do, how we were trying to do it, so that we could, they would understand what it was we were trying to do. And needless to say, the one thing we built there was consistency and continuity for the most part, which allowed us success. Now, the other things that you have to be able to do when you're in Cincinnati, you have to wear more than one hat. As a coach, we did a ton of scouting and evaluation of players, which allowed me the good fortune, coming from college, you do the same thing, and allowed me the good fortune to really work out a bunch of guys all the time. And, a lot of my peers would always call me and ask me about this player I went and worked out, or that player. And being in Cincinnati, we didn't just work out our own position. We had to watch the other people's guys' positions too, and sometimes we had to work them out. And as a tight ends coach and been a special teams coordinator when I was in college and coaching the offensive line, I did quite a bit of that also. And I even did some at some other places. I've done defensive line drills. So, working working in Cincinnati gave you a great opportunity to really challenge yourself and think outside the box, and really have to go outside the box to just see players.
Yeah, and that I'm sure really helped you in the the scouting process and that jumbo draft that we went through back in October, and in terms of determining which kind of players you wanted to go after and who you thought would fit your team. And you really, Coach, I mean, we were breaking down the draft afterwards on the show, and I absolutely love what you did in the draft, and starting at the quarterback position. Now you've got, since the draft, you have a really solid 3-man room there that everybody's talking about with Jordan Ta'amu and Taylor Heineke and Brogan Roback. But specifically the youngster and Jordan Ta'amu, he gives you youth and potential at quarterback, unlike any other team has in the league, at least on paper. What do you expect from the former Ole Miss quarterback?
The good thing about Jordan is he's very athletic. He's got good arm talent. And now we're just going to try to help him develop that and grow and build that and continue to create a better throwing platform for him, so that he can make all the throws. We got to continue to make sure he has all those tools to put in his toolkit. And the great thing is about this draft, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, lucky for me, my DPP, Trey Brown, was been by my side through this whole thing, along with Jeff Bauer and Richard Shelton. Those guys, I couldn't have got through it without those guys. They've done an excellent job of evaluation, of reaching out to so many of these guys to make sure they were still going to be involved and still wanted to play, and just getting their background and the things you need to know going into these things, because for us, normally in pro sports, you have a whole year to gather all that information. We started this venture back in June, and I mean, we hit the ground running, and to those guys' credit, they did a wonderful job. And then along with our trainers that I got on board with, Greg and Chris, they also did a great job of getting their information, the history, injury histories on players, so that we could really do a good job of evaluating these guys.
And you have a serious array of defensive talent as well, Coach. I mean, from Terrence Garvin and Will Hill, and then Kenny Robinson, you land in that draft. I mean, when you were done with the draft, I looked at your roster and said, wow, how do they get all these guys? I was shocked that some of those players weren't taken by other teams, but you have quite the defense, at least on paper, in terms of players with experience and potential.
Well, the one thing about pro athletics is, you've been following it for a long time. The key to pro athletics is not how much talent you can accumulate. It's how much talent you can accumulate and create great chemistry with, so that you can be successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what's going on at mini camp right now, I'm sure. And then in training camp, when you get there in Houston, Coach, it's going to be a lot of fun as you build your team. And, you know, among the league now, we're looking at the competition beginning pretty much right now. I know BattleHawks, your team Twitter account, has had a lot of fun circling dates on the calendar for big matchups you're looking forward to. And we even heard Coach Moss call you out when he was introduced as the coach in LA. Do you feel that sense of competition among the other coaches already?
Well, you know, the reason Coach Moss had to call me out is because he was complaining about us whooping their butts so many times when he was at Oakland. I was in Kansas City. I can't help that. You know, it is what it is. It wasn't like I was bragging about it. He's the one that was complaining about it.
Yeah, I feel like he might be holding that grudge waiting to face you guys later in the middle of the season. We're looking forward to that one big time, at least amongst us here on the show. We talk about what St. Louis and LA are going to do against each other, but also when you take the field against a lot of experienced head coaches in this league, a lot of experienced front office people. This is going to be a high-level football league with new rules that we've been talking about. We're waiting for that rule book to officially come out, but we know that the coaches at least know what to expect, and we know for sure we're going to see a faster game, a faster play clock. And I want to know, how does that affect you as a play caller, knowing that you're going to really have to, be on the ball and have players in great condition, being alert with what we're hearing is a 25-second play clock?
Well, but here's the thing: you can't. Yes, you have to be aware of your time. I think there's a way of still being aware of your time, getting players in and out of the game, and allowing yourself to still be true to who you really want to be offensively, defensively, and on special teams. You just have to make sure that you rehearse it over and over and over again with the players, so that when it does come for the game to really start, it's still going to take time for the ball spotter to come out and spot the ball. It's still going to, all those things come into play. I mean, if you have a big play, for example, now all of a sudden, the ball spotter still has to travel a good distance to get there also. So it still takes time. And so I truly believe that, we're in good shape and we'll be ready to handle it. I know that it'll be a quicker paced game than people are accustomed to in some senses, but it'll be very similar to probably a mixture of a little bit of the college game. And when you watch pro game and people are going no huddle and trying to just speed up and get more plays in.
It's going to be exciting. I cannot wait for that rulebook to officially come out, but I can't wait to see the quality of the play, the pace of the play. We know these players are going to be in great condition because you're getting them ready right now in mini camps, training camps on January 4th in Houston, Coach. And then you are going to be putting a football team out there for the city of St. Louis come February, which is awesome because they are the only team in the XFL that is without an NFL team in that same city. So does your situation there being in St. Louis make it more significant in terms of, I don't know, what fans are expecting, or at least the attention that you're drawing within your city? Do you feel like you have a duty to the crowd there in St. Louis to give them some good football?
Well, I of course, you have a duty to the city to create a product that they want to be proud of. If we're going to become part of this community and stand apart from others, we have to truly create a way to continue to grow and win games and be productive and get better each week. And the only way you can do that is by winning. Let's be honest. That's the reason why we're doing these things.
And it all starts right now, Coach. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to planning for the rest of the mini camp. We look forward to talking to you sometime down the road. It's been a pleasure discussing everything going on with the St. Louis BattleHawks with you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching and listening, XFL fans. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below, or even better, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things XFL. Check out some of our other videos and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at XFL Show. This is the XFL Show is a production of Pretty Easy Podcast.